The Sancti Magistar is also available for 125,000 standing from New Loka, and it's a high impact weapon. From everything I've seen, it supposedly has a 10% is it blast proc, as its kind of inert thing, which I didn't know was a thing. Comparing it to the normal Magistar's the left numbers, the Sancti Magistar's the right numbers, you can see way better damage numbers. It does a lot more impact, a little bit more slash. This is a very low slash damage weapon, but it does have some puncture on there as well. It also has a very low status chance, sticking to the 10 that it had before. It does, however, have 20% crit with a 2x multiplier, and like every other Syndicate melee weapon, it's got a much faster attack speed. I can kind of see what they've done here. Some have got extra damage, some don't, but they've all got extra attack speed. And this could actually save this weapon, because, well, my Magistar is just junk. This thing probably won't be, because loading times, it comes with a V polarity already in it, and usually polarities that come with a V end up being pretty decent, but it does come with a D polarity, which means that the aura, you can't use Crush and Ruin, you have to use Shattering Storm, unless you waste a former swapping that from a D to a V. Ooh, the possibilities for this thing. Not to mention, of course, that it has that whole Syndicate effect here, where the charged attacks turns enemies' pain into a healing pulse that will heal allies. I don't know if it heals yourself. I mean, it makes sense that it would, but the only way to find out, really, is to jump in and start using this thing. Weirdly, this is a weapon that I did form a V and, well, 2 Vs and a dash onto. At least I will when I put the dash on. I've just got the 2 Vs on for now. The dash has probably been put on by the time this has gone up. But that was for Primed Pressure Point, Blood Rush, and Primed Fury. I kind of caved. I had to put Fury on this. Reach probably would have been a better idea, but the attack speed was... it wasn't slow. It was just better with Primed Fury actually in there. And the reason that I've got Blood Rush in is because obviously I have body count as well, because with True Steel this thing has a 32% crit chance, up from its 20%. But the status with it only being 10%, the dash is there just in case Elemental does work, so you can put the Elemental mods in here. But with the semi-crit build, I did throw on 2 of the dual stat mods, and I am using True Steel and Organ Shatter. Not that it really matters overly much, because honestly, this thing, it's not as good as I was expecting it to be. Each charged attack turns the enemy's pain into healing pulse that washes your allies, it actually says washes over allies, also creates resistance to status effects when held. The resistance is basically in the form of a auto block. This thing on the floor is actually problematic if you have this thing in your hand. And that's a motorbike. Because it does this. Oh, it's not. Oh, it is going to do it. It blocks pretty much constantly. The elemental effect is still taking charge, and I can't find any way to kind of take it off. But these arc traps on the floor cause auto blocking. And that stops you from moving, rolling, or being able to shoot the thing on the floor. So that's something you're going to have to watch out for, because that's almost killed me a few times. I did also do exactly what I said I was going to with the Sancti Magistar, and I took it up against Rook, because Rook is probably one of the most elemental heavy bosses to fight in this game, because he deals lots and lots of fire damage. It didn't work. You still end up taking elemental status. It's not complete resistance. There is some to it, but the effect will still come through this, and sometimes the elemental stuff still takes effect. So Rook wrecked me. Ignoring Rook and even the build, because as I say, if you set it up for crit using body count, blood rush, true steel, Organ Shatter, you do end up with a 32% crit chance and a 3.8 times multiplier. Remembering Blood Rush is plus 165. It's 165% critical chance. It's body count that's the combo one. I keep getting those two confused. It means that 32% does go up, and using two of the dual stat elemental things still managed to get an element on here, a combo of elements, but it only took the status to 22 because its base is only 10, which I don't want to say that's its biggest downside. I would have loved this to be pure status, which is weird because out of all of these, and my biggest complaint has been none of them are really crit based apart from the Vacor Sidon. Love that thing for crit, but every other one seems to be status based. This kind of fell into the crit category, and honestly, it wasn't that bad of a weapon. What is it, the 120 total damage it has? Because it's got 96 impact, 18 puncture, and 6 slash. Yeah, 120. Is actually a huge amount of damage. There are other weapons that don't quite come up here. It doesn't quite get into the War Galatine Prime, Fragor Prime. Doesn't quite get into that category of high damage melee weapons, but 120 total damage is still up there being a lot of damage, which was really useful. It was the healing effect of this. At first I didn't really see it kicking in that much, and I was thinking, well, if you have to put Life Strike on this to get it to work, that's just gonna suck. But it didn't. With a standard crit of 20% chance, 2 times multiplier, 10% status, the 120 damage, and the 1 attack speed, this thing is actually a hell of a decent weapon. The fact that it can also heal you, sometimes, it doesn't seem to work every time. I can't say it doesn't work every time, because when I was trying to get it to work, it never worked. When I wasn't trying to get it to work, it would work. It was a weird effect. But the fact that it's there, and it does work, is insanely useful, especially for situations where you're going up against something like the Infested, because they'll be attacking you as you're attacking them, and you can suck life out of them to keep you alive, which is great, especially with frames that die a lot. And if I'm honest, the biggest downside to the Sancti Magistar, ignoring its cost, its weird setup with only 10% status, its biggest problem has got to be the fact that the Zenistar, the 300 login day reward, is going to come out in the next few days, which could make this completely useless. But that all depends on whether that weapon is as good as it should be. It should be better than any primed weapon, considering how long you have to play to actually get a hold of it.